All right, welcome everyone to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. Of course, with me is Katie and Kyle. Katie, we are recording earlier today because we thought you were going to a brunch, but it's been
Mhm.
canceled. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's snowy. It's super snowy here. So people are like, I don't want to leave. And my friend's sick. It's her birthday, and she's sick. So that sucks.
Well, we wish her good health. And Kyle's having cam problems. What's going on? He's popping in. Are you okay, Kyle? We got a man down.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So, and Kyle, how are you doing this beautiful morning?
I'm doing good. I set an alarm to make sure that I wasn't going to miss your show.
No, it's our show.
Yes, that's true. Our show. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we'd like to thank everyone who's actually. I don't think we're gonna have very many actual live viewers. It's a little bit early. It's 7:20 in LA in the morning, but it's 10:20 in New York time. So again, if you watch this on YouTube, we appreciate your views and comments on YouTube, which we're going to get to very shortly because we didn't get any emails, Katie. 0 emails. It's been
What's
really
going
dry.
on?
Rocky 5 has been horribly dry for emails, and that's okay. I don't know if that's a reflection on the film. We kind of speculated it might be. But give us some emails, folks. If you're listening to this, even if it's just like, hi, I'm listening. Here's your email.
I think our show needs more foreplay then, if that's the case,
Oh, maybe. Yeah. And we don't have any trivia. We are, like we said before, we're done trivia.
Okay.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We do not have any more. Yeah, we do
All
not
right.
have any more.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was all prepared. I like got my pen out and my little post-it notes that I write on.
Oh, I was going to comment that, maybe we'll have some UK listeners because I think it's 5:20 there, if I'm not mistaken.
Simon.
Yeah. Is that Simon? I think it is, or Simon. Yeah. The filmmaker Simon. I think it's him that we haven't done that film review that we promised 2 years ago. We're terrible. Okay. Yes. Welcome everyone, even from across the pond. Sorry, Katie. It looked like you were getting excited that we're doing trivia.
Yeah, 3:20.
Well, I guess I feel, I don't know, you guys, I set my alarm. It's early. I feel very prepared today for some reason.
Okay.
So I was all ready to go. But it is a pleasant surprise that it's over because I sucked bad this year.
Yeah. It wasn't until I actually did the edit and then I, of course, released it on our audio feed that I caught that you actually got last place. I don't think we quite rubbed it in your face as much as we were supposed to.
And we really should have. We really dropped the ball on
that. I did.
Because you're so smart, you're so prepared. But yeah, I think you got. Let's just remind our listeners, you got last place in Rocky 5.
Rocky 5.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing Rocky Balboa, the 6th film, when we do the trivia. And then at the end of Rocky Balboa, because it was kind of unclear because I rambled it very quickly, as I sometimes do, the hardcover version of the trivia book that I bought, it came with, this is like a new edition. I used to own the soft cover, but I rebought the hardcover that Rocco released because it came with bonus questions. So that was the whole point. So the hardcover came with bonus questions for all 6 films, which I think it's 10 or I think it's 5 or 10 questions per film, bonus questions. So when we finish Rocky Balboa, we'll probably do the same thing. We'll probably finish the 6 film questions early, and then we'll just roll into the bonus questions during season 6 is what I was saying. So that's how we'll do that. Okay. Well, because there's no emails and there's no trivia, we might get more film done today. But before we get to that, we actually got some really good engagement on our YouTube last week because we did ask for it, meaning, as you'll see in the comments as they're being read, people did give their opinions long and far regarding the Paulie living conditions. And it was actually great to hear. Yeah. So it was actually great to hear that. So just a recap, a very quick recap. Kyle brought up an interesting theory a few episodes ago that he thought in his memory banks that he felt Paulie may not live there. And we kind of said, yeah, he might live above the gym. That kind of makes sense that he would live there. And we'll respond to the comments, but you'll see that this overwhelmingly, what we thought originally. So, but let's start with the comments that aren't apartment related. Katie,
I would like to point out,
yes, ma'am,
that I always doubled down on them living in the house.
Yeah, let the record state. We don't want you to be arrested for any hearsay or canceled. In the Rocky universe. I will also say for the fact I enjoy the idea still. And
it's fun conversation for sure.
Because go ahead, Kyle, please.
I will point out it is a logical fallacy that just because something is popularly believed that it's correct, though. I'm just pointing that out there.
That's
Oh,
the truth.
100%, Kyle. 100%. You're right. Okay, we do have some comments.
Yes.
A few from Andy Grew. The first one, he says, Eric Elder was Tommy Morrison's best friend in real life. He was interviewed in Tommy's documentary. And I think one of you guys brought that up, didn't you?
Must have been Ryan.
No,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
about
Or
the
maybe
dog.
it was
I learned
one of
that
the
on the show.
listeners.
Maybe.
I feel like somebody did. I feel like I've heard that before. They're probably screaming at me, but I feel like it was somebody in our chat.
No, I think Kyle just said that when we talked about the best friend at the very beginning, Kyle's the one that mentioned that they were best friends in real life. I don't think the documentary part was brought up. Maybe we're
Oh,
I
combining-
didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
that though. Like
Mhm.
I remember learning that. We'll record
Oh,
it.
okay. It must have been a chat person. But I will say this about the documentary. Grew brought up the documentary, the Thomas. Now, there's been more than one documentary, but let me say for the record, the official Tommy Morrison documentary is coming out at the end of this year. I talked to Trisha Morrison. Remember on our last episode, I talked about the dinner scene where we saw Tommy Gunn's character, played by Tommy Morrison, talk about being abused. And I would reach out to Trisha to see, did Tommy kind of speak from the heart or from the script, or a bit of both regarding his upbringing? I'll bring up the chat in a second here. I didn't have it ready. A better podcaster would have it ready. I actually have.
This is what makes Ryan. This is what makes this a great podcast. It's like you have that connection, right? Like if I started a podcast, I would just be speculating about this because I'm like too lazy to go out and like talk to people and stuff. But you've done the legwork to make the connection. So you like having information like this and like the information you get from John Rivoli and stuff is like pretty cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
We're
that.
gonna give Ryan a pat on the back here. Yay, Ryan.
So a couple things regarding this before we get to that. So the documentary, I'm not sure which one Grew. I'm sure he's listening to this episode. Let us know which documentary you're referring to. But he might be referring to the ESPN one. That's controversial regarding that one. But the official one that's being obviously authorized by the widow Trisha. And also the Callum, who's doing the interviews. He's the one that interviewed me for the documentary. And I think that might be the definitive one, but we'll let viewers decide when it comes out. Of course, we'll plug that when it does come out because I can't wait to see my part be cut right out of the documentary. Okay.
Stop it.
So
Put good vibes into the universe. Come on.
I'm putting pragmatic vibes. That's my okay. So I messaged Trisha, gave the timestamp to the video, and I said, "Hey, can you answer our question if you have insight on this? And may I share your answer?" She goes, "Yes. There was a lot of physical and verbal abuse during Tommy's childhood. He posted many times that he came from a dysfunctional family. His mother was an alcoholic, his brother a rapist.
Oh,
so
wow.
obviously so you can imagine that kind of it puts into light a lot of just the stuff that he struggled with in his life, the real life stuff. That's just a home that I don't think any three of us came from. That kind of home. So it's just different upbringing, right? She goes on to say he was glad to get out of that environment, but this shows you the true and sweet character of Tommy. And this is why I'm a Tommy defender when people kind of crap on him. So like it's like his character, he actually played his character so well that people don't like the real Tommy, vice the character of Tommy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which I like. I understand the idea of negative association, but like we also have brains, right? Like we can understand that movies are pretend.
You would think so.
You
would think so.
You're giving the human race a lot of credit, Kyle.
Yeah. She goes on to say, but he never stopped loving them, his parents or family, and wanted them to love him back. He knew it was the money he brought in that made them love him. When the money stopped coming in, they didn't have time for him. He says this in his book that they couldn't wait to bury him.
This reminds me of $1 Million Baby.
Oh yeah. Hey, good catch, JD.
That's really sad, though.
There's more. Do you want to hear more or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Tommy's fear was that he never wanted to let anyone down. He always said he was acting himself, however, in Rocky V. So I asked, can I share all that? She goes, yes, of course. And she just said another little story here. Back in November 2011, his dad actually called him We were on our drive back from Joe Fraser's funeral.
Oh.
His dad said, "I love you, son." Tommy responded, "I have always loved you, Dad." They hung up. Tommy cried for a while I was driving. It was like he had been waiting years to hear his dad say that.
Hmm.
I'm glad he got that. I was
Yeah.
waiting for the other shoe to drop when you said that for some reason, but I'm glad
Yeah,
that was
no,
the-
there's a little bit of peace at the end there.
Yeah.
So, a side note here, speaking of the documentary, it's currently being, because I asked, when's this documentary coming out, Trisha? And she said possibly the end of 2025. Callum is still filming because Usyk is being filmed now. He's being interviewed. I thought Kyle might find that interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Michael
is he
Buffer,
like a current boxer?
I think so.
Oh, he's the current champion.
Oh, he is the okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just defended his title in a rematch and won. But it wasn't too popular. I find that it's not popular in America because I think boxing is becoming less popular in general in America, and also Usyk and the guy he fought were both Europeans.
I don't
That
know.
sounds American of us. If we're not involved, we don't care.
Well,
Also, they
don't
televised
jump on
that
too hard.
fight. They had that fight during, like, I can't remember what it was, but like there was a lot of college sports going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's big business, the sports betting.
Oh yes. She also mentioned that Michael Buffer was just interviewed last week, so a lot of big names on there.
That's
And then-
great. I'm very
so-
excited for this.
So she
And
said,
Ryan Rebalkin.
Usyk. Well, she said Usyk, Michael Buffer. Then of course Ryan's self-deprecating humor. I said, amazing. Well, even if I get cut out, it was honored to be asked. LOL. Because all these other, they don't have time for me. They got these big names. These are real people. These are real people. I'm a fake person. Anyways,
I
All I
would
want to do is get
argue
on
the
the
opposite.
documentary. If I can get on that documentary and not get cut, I'm gonna know I'm just not another bum from the neighborhood.
another podcast bump for the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katie. I think I caught a bit what you're saying there. You're very sweet. But she did right. You're no way you're getting cut out. And she went on to say it's ended up being a 6-parter. So it might be like
So yeah, you'll make it.
yeah.
So
I'll
like
be
a
at the fair-
series, a
I'll be
docu-series.
like the last episode, last minute, or like the the credits are rolling, and you'll see like Ryder Balkan. Tommy was great. The end.
You got anything derogatory to say?
yeah, he was great. That's awesome. That's funny. Okay, so we got some great comments here. So this is from Michael B in our show chat. He says, as much as I didn't like Rocky V, I never associated negatively toward Tommy Morrison because I watched his actual fights and separated the fighter from the role. So there's an educated person.
Yeah.
Simon went on to say, do you think Sly knew as much about Tommy when writing the script or was added as they were filming? I think it's the latter. I think but Sly was actually a very informed individual regarding fighters, boxing, the boxing world. So I would 100% assume that when he hired Tommy, he hired his story.
That's his MO. Like, he borrows from real life all the time, and then he puts like his creative flair to it. So like the idea that he kind of coincidentally came up with a Tommy character that happened to be like Tommy Morrison in real life, to me seems far-fetched.
Right. Yeah. Simon, great to when they said cutting me out of the documentary. Didn't bother me. It did. Well, that might be a more truer quote. I'm going to hold on to that quote. We never know. We'll find out. Okay. Great stuff. I love it. So that was, thank you, Trisha, for that. She's such a sweet person. Thank you so much for that. And okay. What's the next comment from me? I think Gru gave us another one.
He has a few. So the next one is, these days, Gazzo would likely be the comic relief. A-list extended cameo played by someone like Danny DeVito. I like it. I'm a big DeVito fan. That would be hilarious because Gazzo himself was pretty tall. So it's just like that.
Yeah, you'd have a short Gazzo. I like it.
Well, like, also, I remember Sly commenting on how he thought Gazzo really didn't seem like a mob guy at all. Like, he was kind of funny. Like, he was like, unlike, and then like him, like the inhaler shot was, of course, like not planned, and they just decided to keep it in. So it's like, it was very, very kind of some more subtle comic relief, but it would be funny if you had someone like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I like it. I like the Danny DeVito. Good one, Gru.
Agreed. His next one is that's 1,000% Jewel based on the picture alone.
Yeah, so remember I showed you, of course, that LinkedIn profile of Elizabeth Peters, whatever
Oh
her
yeah,
name is,
yeah, yeah.
fence maker or whatever she goes by. So I went on
Fenster
LinkedIn,
maker, is that it?
fenster maker, something like that.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate Gru's also confirming that he believes he said 1,000% or whatever it was, and so I tried to reach out. I hate it when people have these impossible LinkedIn. I do have an account. It's a free account. Like I have an account. If you Google Ryan Rebalkin, you'll see my LinkedIn account. Like nobody follows me. I never use it, but for whatever reason, I have one. And for me to contact her, I have to be a paid member.
Yeah, but there's a trial. They send me like every week LinkedIn, like, oh, we're giving you 7 days free trial for free, literally like every week. And I never bother because I'm not looking for a job or whatever. But
Right.
you
Okay.
could
So
do a
you're
free
saying
trial.
my only I will then okay, so that was part one. Part one was I didn't do the trial to reach out to her. So I guess I should just do the trial. I get nervous that I forget I'm gonna get paid like charged
Yes.
$1,000.
Yes.
You know what? You just
100%.
put it on, me and my handy dandy calendar.
Sure.
You just put a task on your calendar a week later.
I wonder if
cancel.
it would be less creepy if a woman reached out to her.
Actually, Kyle, you just actually brought up something I was going to ask my audience. Our audience, of course, was does anyone have a LinkedIn account that could surrogate for me, saying, "Hey, I listened to a show and they're trying to reach out to you," and they could give my email.
Honestly, I think Katie should reach out because.
You mean female to female? You mean?
Yeah. Okay, there's 2 Ryan Rebalkins on LinkedIn.
Oh, geez,
one is definitely you because it has your picture.
Okay.
And then the other one should be you because it says it's from Souk, BC.
Oh,
you have 2 accounts, maybe.
Twice. It might be 2 different emails too, or something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the one with the picture. I'm gonna connect.
Sure.
I mean, I would have to upgrade to the paid version too because I don't. But I'm just saying that's a possibility. So I'm happy to. But you're the famous one.
Oh, you're adorable. Okay, well, okay, I will just okay. What do we do? Middle of the road. I'll reach out to her. You put in your calendar to remind me to cancel my.
I will do that for sure.
Okay,
I will. Okay,
because I am horrible at calendars, as you know. Okay.
Yes.
What was the next?
Ironically, the only really good performance in this movie is by Sage, with Richard Gant as a close second. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we definitely have stated that both Tommy and Sage really aren't as bad as people remember. When you objectively look back at this film, I think Sage got a lot of nepotism criticism that was unwarranted, and we're seeing now objectively he was as a teenager actor, as teenage actors go, he was just fine. There's no issue with his acting. Like there's no like, oh, what a horrible line delivery, Sage. He was actually a little bit more than serviceable. So I agree with Gru. And Richard Gant is amazing. Of course, playing with George Washington.
He was overdoing it a bit.
But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
It is funny.
I think he was the best in my opinion.
I disagree that the only really good that Sage was the only really good performance. My take on Rocky V is everybody except Sly was good.
Oof. Yeah, that's fair too.
I think Talia Shire, Burt Young. What was wrong with
Talia was great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody was good. I don't really think Tommy was very good, but he's not an actor. Like my expectations for him were low. Sage isn't as bad. Agreed on all of those points. I think if anybody disappointed me acting wise, it was sadly Sly.
Yeah.
He dialed it in. He dialed it in the most. The one actor who had who has been shown to give us great acting performances, the level of acting that he actually gave us was the lowest amount, with even some parts of very cringe-worthy moments.
You know what? I'm gonna throw Sly a bone here,
please.
I think he took a risk acting that way. I think he was trying to change it up. I think he was like, trying to go a little more R-word type of thing there.
Well, remember what Robert Downey Jr. said in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, never go full R-word. Never. Like not all your chances are going to pan. Not all your risks are going to pan out. You know what I mean? Like, so, and he's given, like Ryan said, other good acting performances. So sometimes it just doesn't work, and I respect that.
Yeah, good point. I don't want people to listen. I He's one of my favorite. He's like my number 2 favorite actor ever. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I always come to his defense when people, shit on him for them thinking that he's a bad actor. I think he's a phenomenal actor, just not so much in Rocky 5. And I agreed. That was a risk that just didn't work. I agree, Kyle.
It's funny, and of course we've mentioned this, and we'll get to other parts in the movie, but there's parts where he's not that way.
True.
Like just even the parts of like, you knocked him down, tried knocking me down, or even the funny lines like this ain't no pie eating contest, or
Love
just
that.
or even when he's yelling with Adrian in the street, like I didn't want us to come back here. I didn't want this. Like that's all fine. It's just
Good
it's
point.
almost it's just I think the very beginning of the film, yes, when he's punchy from the fight, maybe he was trying to show that my head is damaged, and I don't know if Sly knows how to act brain damage, so he's acting dumb and weird and goofy. But as the movie sort of progresses and he settles down into the neighborhood, he just talks a lot. And the last big cringy scene, of course, was when he's talking to Tommy. We said that he's Sly or the character Rocky. He's just acting really excited that he gets to do this again. So it's kind of like goofy excited, but it comes off looking kind of silly. But there are a lot of moments in that film where Sly doesn't act bad. So it's a really discombobulated for that reason. I think a better director would have reined Sly in, and that's the whole problem. Is John G, the director. I don't know how much he was directing Sly.
Yeah, and I think Sly, like for me, I really like Sly in all the subsequent films. Like in Rocky Balboa, in the Creed films.
Creeds, yeah.
Like I prefer his acting in those films to say his acting in Rocky 3 and 4.
Sure.
I find Rocky in 3 and 4 doesn't seem like Rocky. He's like this.
No, it's 80s Sly.
Yeah, and so it's like he kind of goes. I feel like Rocky 5, he's trying to go back to what he was in Rocky 1 and 2 and failed, and then in Rocky Balboa and Creed, he got it right.
Agreed.
Yeah, because he was that hungry again as an artist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're the beast inside,
Yeah,
we have several other comments. Let's see. This is about the Polly situation, the living situation. The Misfit 74 says, in the trailer for Rocky 5, there's a line of dialogue from Polly. Rock, I still got my place in the old neighborhood. This implies they were all living in Polly's house.
Okay. Yeah, and I totally agree. So I wanted to say this for the record, because I agree with all these statements that come in. It's hard to argue everything that everyone says. Because like you said, Katie, for 35 years when this film came out, whenever that was, 35 years ago, I've always thought for 35 years until like 4 episodes ago that Paulie lived there. Like I never considered another option. It was just kind of a fascinating study. But I think at the end of the day, in the court of law, both sides of the aisle don't have evidence enough. It'd be a hung jury. Because it's never, because again, it's implied. We have a lot of circumstances. That's what it is. Sorry. It's a case of circumstantial evidence.
Yes.
Like we mentioned last episode, it would just take one word for Rocky to say, hey, can the kids stay at your place or your room? Like he just had to say one word to indicate where this place. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, and we do know that it's Polly and Adrian's house. Like that's known, and it would be weird.
But you could also argue that, the last thing I would bring up, this is my last point of this whole thing, and then the case will, was it the defense rest, is that is you could argue that yes, Paulie kept this, because people bring this up, so I'm not arguing that. Yeah, that's Paulie's, he kept the place. That's the place you could argue though when he said, "Hey Rock, aren't you glad I kept the place?" Off screen. Hey Rock, you and Adrian live in the house. I'll go live in Mickey's gym. This was given to Robert, your son. Here's the deal, because he's good at business. Paulie's good at this kind of stuff. He could say, you guys live in my place. I don't really want to live with a bunch of you guys. I'll go crash in Mickey's place. I'll have a place to myself. I'll live there rent free. You guys rent out my place.
Yeah, because in that apartment, he can get drunk and look at his skin mags and just be his full Paulie self,
I can almost see, I honestly, I can almost see Paulie, the character, preferring to be alone.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, I want to keep my theory going at all costs. So I'm going to say that I have a bias here. So I'm not.
Well, let's see what some other people have to say. So Hingle McCringleberry, that's fun, says if somebody had to move out, they would have had Tommy move in with Polly out of the house and above the gym, not Robert. The Balboas would have kept Robert with them in that case. I
Yeah, that's
this
a good
also
argument.
that
That's a good
I
argument.
was thinking the same.
That's
Yeah.
predicated on the Balboas being good parents, which you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I mean. This is what makes this because every point has a counterpoint that you can't argue.
Yeah, I
the
Yeah,
know.
counterpoint.
you're right.
Look, I'm admitting my bias from the beginning. Okay, like
But
I'm being the defense lawyer who's going to come up with an alternate theory. No matter
Sure.
what you say, I will come up with an alternate theory.
And there is one. The gloves. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
But that's
if they don't
that's
fit.
a good point. If there were, parents like maybe me and Kyle, we'd be like, no, the complete stranger, you go crash with Polly, and we'll
Yes.
keep the kid.
No shit. Yeah. But you did bring up a good point, Ryan, that it was like a temporary, maybe just for a few nights or
Few days,
something.
yeah.
But even
It-
still,
it is-
that
it ends up being
could be at Polly's.
It ends up being like a year and a half.
Yeah.
according to the montage that we're gonna watch, for the fight. Yeah.
Destiny Filmworks says there's a deleted scene shown in the trailer where Polly tells Rocky he kept the house in the old neighborhood. Yep. Another
I
person doing
never
that.
saw that. I meant to look that trailer up. There must be, because that's dialogue that's not, which can happen. They'll cut a trailer before the final cut. So
Well,
there'll be dialogue in
I
trailers.
I remember
I-
Polly saying that. I thought
I do too. I think it's in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it's in
when
the
they're
movie.
moving
They
in.
still kept
He
the old
said-
place.
When they're
But I
moving back in, he says something about
Well,
it.
Shh, I know. I thought the dialogue was different. That's all. What was the dialogue they said? I know he said, "Aren't you glad I kept the old place, Rock?" What did Destiny Film guy say there?
Deleted scene shown in the trailer where Polly tells Rocky he kept the house in the old neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the same dialogue. That's in
Yeah.
the film. Okay, so they're just saying it's
Mhm.
also shown on the trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Andy Grew has some comments about the housing situation as well. He says, all evidence points to them being in that house together. Polly's line about Junior's plumbing leaking suggests they'd be sharing a bed. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Additionally, as they're moving into the horrible hip hop version of Take You Back, Polly says, it's good I kept the house.
Yeah.
Talked about that.
I
If
don't
it's
know
the-
why people say that is evidence that Polly lives there, though.
That's
Well,
what
it's
I'm
his
saying.
house.
Polly kept the
'cause
house.
it's his
No,
house.
it has to be his house. It has to be his house because if the Balboas owned that house, it would have been taken with all their other stuff.
Yeah, that's why people are bringing up. They're like, it's Polly's house.
That
So
he
it
then
doesn't
mean
Polly
moved
he
out
lives
of.
there.
Then he moved out of to live in Mickey's gym. So you're
Yeah.
right. He kept the place, moves out so they can move in.
But people are bringing it up like, well,
Yes, that he
it's
still
your
lives there.
house. Why would you move out of it? You know, like
and that's a
what
fair
people-
argument too.
Yeah.
We're just doing the what do you call it? The devil's advocate response.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So Gru goes on to say, if it's supposed to be Polly and Adrian's house from the original, it's actually Polly's house. Yes. I mean, technically, he inherited it from the parents. They grew up in that house.
We just got a heavyweight just chime in. A heavyweight just chimed in on our Instagram. Derek Wayne Johnson, 4-time guest on the show, director of many documentaries in the Rocky universe. He's saying it's Polly's house. So if Derek says it's Polly's house, I guess we have to let the
Well, we know
That's
it's Polly's house. There's no question that
Okay,
it's Polly's house.
yeah. But I think he's also saying Polly lives there. Is that what you're saying,
Yeah.
Derek? I think he's still watching. So I think that's what Derek is saying. That
Okay.
Polly.
Yeah.
Let us know if that's what you mean, Derek. Because if that's what you mean, if Derek says that Polly lived there, not above Mickey's gym, that's the question, Derek. Then I will concede to Derek because he
will
he
concede
knows the
to
Rocky
no one.
universe.
I'll
Kyle will
concede to
concede.
no one.
I love how
Okay.
you won't concede to me. No, I understand. I'm kidding, Ryan. I know what you mean. Okay. So Andy goes on to say, also, there's no way Adrian would have the kids stay away from his parents, especially in that part of town. It's vague, but I don't think it's meant to be. I think it's simply a case of them ignoring the little details that made some of the other movies so good. Mhm.
Sure.
And another point, I mean, that is true. It's kind of a rough neighborhood. Adrian is trying to be a mama bear.
Yeah. So he's saying yes. So Derek says that yes, Polly was living there with the Balboas.
This is my Apollo's people equivalent.
Yeah, it is. It is. Agreed, Derek. Agreed.
No, we
Well,
appreciate-
that's
we
it's super fun. Thank you all
is
for the
totally fun.
comments too.
Yeah,
Keep them
it is.
coming.
Thanks, Derek. He says, "Hey, I love you guys." Had to jump and say it. Well, we appreciate Derek. Guys, check out his many documentaries. See if I can remember them. The three main ones. Boy, Derek, I'm sorry if I forget the names. Rocky, 40 years of Rocky. I think this was called. Awesome documentary. Of course, he did the Frank Stallone Frank. That is, and then he did the why is it?
Oh, is it the
escaping me?
Mike one?
It's escaping me the titles. I apologize. He'll probably tell us in the chat. I don't think he's left just yet. He also edited. He did the editing for the behind the scenes Rocky 4 edit. So the when
Director's cut
so
one?
Sly doing the director's cut, and he's behind the scenes. Derek actually edited all that together and made it nice and pretty for us to watch. So yeah,
Thanks, Derek.
yeah. All right, I missed you, brother, and he's a newlywed too, by the way. He's taken, ladies. Yes, of course.
Well-
John Giavelston, the king of the underdogs. Thank you, Derek. That was the first one he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Totally, probably the best one of the three, but a great trilogy of films. And thank you. And yeah, I love Derek so much. He's just the nicest guy. But ladies, he's taken the handsome man's taken. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
We
Congratulations.
all are. We all are.
Yeah. Okay.
All the good ones
All
are
right.
taken.
All the good ones are taken. Yes. Sorry, Katie. Okay. So, 40 Years of Rocky, the birth of a classic. That's the title. Now, there we go. Thank you, Derek. Check them out. They're available like on Prime. You can buy them, rent them. They're all over the place. They're amazing films. So check out my interviews with them. Okay. What do we got? That's it for comments. Or
Yes.
that's it?
Are we doing
All
the
right.
recast?
Oh yeah, I'm excited for the recast. Yeah,
Me
because
too.
I actually have my picks here. Okay, so again, this is the last part of Dave Burrell from the UK, who gave us this challenge of he gave us his choices, and he says, "What do you think of my choices? And do you have choices instead?" Well, haven't really been happy with this list, which makes it fine and fun that we all have
It's
our own
fun.
choices. Anyways, so this is the last part, and Dave, you haven't responded. I guess he doesn't listen to us anymore, or he died in the ring. He might have died in the ring during that charity fight. He might have Apollo Creed in the ring when he had that charity match.
He's got some brain damage, even though he doesn't
Okay.
see any.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. So what were Dave's choices for the fourth?
okay, so the next, there's three people we're going to talk about: Gloria Dipper and Father Carmine. So
Right.
he is posing Christina Ricci. He's proposing, I'm sorry, Christina Ricci for Gloria.
Not a bad
What do you
pick.
guys think?
Right age, like right now, she's the right age. Like she's early 40s. Gloria, I dare say, was between 35 and 45. I don't know exact age of the actress at the time, but she was mid 30s, early 40s. Christina Ricci has that ability. So did the original actress that played Gloria. I forget her name, but she was like, I think if you dolled her up properly, she would look, very, like kind of like Adrian, but she just didn't. She
Mhm.
looked like a frumpy store owner, but I don't think she really
Sure.
is. I think she's
Right.
naturally, she was a pretty woman. But so Christina Ricci is what I'm saying. She has that same ability. You can make Christina Ricci, you see her in some films, she's like, holy crap, you look different. And then
Mhm.
you can, but when she, she's able to morph into different looks. But it's so, anyways, long story short, I think Christina Ricci is not a bad choice at all.
Yeah, I was totally fine with that choice. Like to be honest though, I don't think I really have a strong opinion on who plays Gloria because I don't think it matters that much. But
Well, all of these are these three are all
Side
third.
Oh, are you okay, Katie? Oh, she lost her mic.
yeah, I heard her kind of.
It's okay. You back in? If you can't,
No.
if you can't get your mic to work, just pop it back in and come out again. That might reset everything. Okay, so for while she's working on that, my second choice though, if Christina Ricci was like a hard no for me, I did have a second choice, Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, yeah. That I've now switched. That I think personality wise, she could play a way better Gloria. No, that's a good
Okay.
call, man. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll go with that one for sure.
Who did you say, Ryan?
Aubrey Plaza.
That is hilarious because I have a list and so I did a casting. I had all of these people come
Oh, good.
in and they auditioned for me. And Aubrey Plaza was one of them. But ultimately, I also interviewed Kristen Wiig, Catherine Hahn, Jenna Fisher, and Chelsea Peretti. But my ultimate choice was Judy Greer.
You know what? I think Jenna Fisher could, if she. I think she
Mhm.
like, has the look where she could definitely play Gloria.
Be mousy
think-
but sassy.
Yeah, I
Same
think
time.
Aubrey Plaza though I feel like she doesn't really have the look for Gloria, but like I think personality wise and stuff, I could really see her being Gloria. Man, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
good. Those are all good choices. I think Gloria's a character too, like we're saying, where you could almost get away with a lot of different, a lot of
Mhm.
great.
You
actors.
guys are way better at casting stuff than me. I can never think of people. Like I might have like one good one here or there, but like I never considered any of those people for that role. I'm like, I don't know, just pick somebody.
Well, my thought process was thinking of, it's a character actress, not like a beautiful leading woman,
Sure.
age range, trying to find the right age range, and then somebody that can look dowdy,
Yes.
and is kind of funny. That was my criteria.
All right. Who was the next one? Dipper. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Who did he say for Dipper?
Sorry, I have to find it again.
He said Jaden
Okay,
Smith.
Jaden Smith.
No.
Absolutely 100% no. This is a me problem. I can't stand Jaden Smith.
Yeah, I'm not. I wish him all the health and happiness in the world. I have no ill will towards him, but as far as a person I want to watch or enjoy their career, I have no interest. I had to do a little bit of a casting search, another sort of unknown, but Katie, you seem to know actors that I don't know, funny enough. Have you ever heard of Damson Idris?
Damson Idris. No. Do you have a picture, or what was he in?
So here's him. He was in. Oh shoot! I have to go back. He was in.
Oh, yeah. He looks very familiar. That one on the right.
A few. He's a newer actor. Oh, he's not new
Mhm.
shows. He's in theater. Oh, Snowfall. That was the big show he's in. He's in the main cast on the show Snowfall.
I don't know if I saw that, but he does look
Yeah.
familiar. I'll take it.
So,
I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wanted sort of an unknown too, but because Dipper at the time, played by Stan Shaw, was sort of an unknown. But he's a handsome guy, right age too, and he's got a good physique on him, ready to go. Definitely,
Mhm.
he's got the Dipper. You could, yeah, there he is there. So, yeah,
We think
that's-
Kyle.
Yeah, that's fine. I suck at this. I really
no,
feel
that's
like this
fine.
is not my thing. I was enjoying my coffee this morning, looking at this list and thinking, and I don't know why I get weird thoughts in my head sometimes, where I just like is an absurd comedy type of thing.
Oh,
Having
that's
someone who
sure.
really doesn't fit at all there. I just had this image of Rocky walking away from the ring, and then instead of Dipper there, Michael Caine's there. He's like, "Hey, I enjoy I dig your locker, man."
like a 95-year-old man. That's
He's like, he's a
hilarious.
contender. I don't know why, but that.
Yeah, he's a contender.
And he's got that locker.
Yeah, with all the black chicks.
You know what I love
Yeah.
about that scene, the first Rocky film? We probably comment on it, but I love it. It was filmed in '96, but I love the idea that because, like, it was for the audience. Because when Rocky opens the locker, it's littered with a black female in half naked poses, which is to indicate to the audience, well, this obviously can't be Rocky's locker. There's black girls. No
Yeah,
white
that's right.
Italian is gonna like black girls. How dare it's just funny how that's what they use.
It
to
is,
indicate-
except Bobby
I'm
D. He's
well,
always
of course.
I know I'm teasing. But at the time,
that's what I
yeah, for
love.
sure.
They love
I
that,
I never thought of that, Ryan, but you're right. Like, because
Yeah.
there is no reason why that couldn't be Rocky's.
Yeah,
But
he
it
might
does.
have
It does. It lend to a popular conception that like
Mhm.
white men don't like black women, which isn't true.
No,
But yeah,
what
in
actually
the
I don't like,
70s, it
or what
was
I do like, I like beautiful women of all races.
any yeah.
Of course. A
You know what's
beautiful
funny?
woman
This-
is a beautiful woman.
You'll have to cut
Agree.
this out. But when I was in Philly, I was downtown by the city hall, and this black guy, came up to me and started chatting with me. And I think he was like kind of homeless. He ended up trying to sell me DVDs at the end, but we just were chatting about random shit. And he's like, he's like, I like women who are white or black or whatever. He's like, what I like to say is, he's like, my dick is not racist, man. My dick is, my
Yeah,
dick
I
does
think I've
not see
heard
color.
How did
I
this
think I
come
heard
up
that.
in just casual
I
conversation?
don't know. This guy was a total stranger. I was just talking to him for like 20 or 30 minutes, and then this cop came up to him after, and I just like got the fuck out of there.
Kyle's like, hey man, how you doing? Where you from?
Well, I think this guy, I think he was trying to sell me bootleg DVDs or something, but he was trying
Oh.
to chat with me first to kind of get like a rapport going. But
Were they porno DVDs?
I don't know. Once he brought them
Probably
out,
not.
that's when that security guy came.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a decent amount of security around the city hall downtown, but yeah, just him saying my dick's not racist, that is like burned in my head.
That's awesome. I love it.
Other parts of him might be, but not
Yeah.
his dick.
Yeah,
Um,
I have another story actually.
Uh-oh.
This is something you'll have to also edit out.
Okay.
I knew a guy who in the 60s, he's an older guy who's telling me he was a Mormon guy and he did like a mission in St. Louis, Missouri. And him and the guy he was with used to get catcalled by prostitutes. And there was this black lady, this black prostitute, and she said to him from across the street, she's like, "Hey there, white boy. I'm pink inside, just like a white girl."
oh my god.
Jeez. Well, tell him the truth. Yeah.
She's trying to make a sale. Okay.
Yeah,
course,
I
of
love
course.
that.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear
Okay.
my
Yes.
alternative for Dipper?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
He's a very youthful looking man, but he's probably a touch on the old side. Andre 3000 from Outkast.
I love that.
Look at him, like he just has this.
I know who he is. I know who he
Yeah.
is.
And I just picture him saying that.
He
Yo,
seems
I
a little
really,
skinny. You had
I-
to bulk him up a bit. but
yeah, I really dig your locker, man.
Yeah, he's
But I-
49 already.
But he looks younger than that. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. He's my age.
He doesn't
Uh,
crack, you know.
That's true. It's true, actually. Yeah. So Andre, I like it. And then if Dipper fought Apollo, played by Andre in this film universe, and they're at the press conference, and Paul would have said, "Well, one thing about Dipper is if he can't fight, he sure can sing."
Yeah.
This is another
Instead of
bad
Cook.
casting choice, but imagine if like Chris Tucker was Dipper, just in his voice saying like "I dig your locker."
See, you're better at this than you thought,
Yeah,
Kyle.
well, I miss Chris. Did you say Chris Rock or Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I miss Chris Tucker. He was so good in those Rush Hour.
He's not
a
dead,
fu-
is he?
No, he's just sort
Okay,
of
good.
semi-retired from. I think
Okay.
he's like really rich, and he just doesn't. He just enjoys.
He's like, I don't give a
chilling.
fuck, man. I'm out of here.
I was never a fan. I don't have anything against Chris Tucker, but he kind
No,
of
I
always
think-
annoyed me a little.
I think it's a comedy style at the right time, the right age. Like when he came out when I was 20 years ago, if you completed the Rush Hour films, or yeah. So, all right, last one, Father Carmine.
He says Steve Buscemi, which was your pick for Gazzo, right, Kyle?
younger Gazzo.
Yes,
yeah.
he was. When I saw that, I was like,
So, what are your thoughts on? Well, we love Steve, great actor, and I think it's fun. Again, that's one if he was cast and he was the right age at the right time, Steve Buscemi would do a great job. He's a great guy,
Again,
great actor.
I'm gonna say current Steve Buscemi would be fine as Father
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Carmine.
think he's older. He's
Steve
older.
Buscemi from 25 years ago would have been
Too
a
young.
good Gazzo.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree with those two.
Yeah.
I agree with those two. I
Okay.
think a younger Steve, good Gazzo. Current Steve, an older priest. That's easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any
Well-
alternatives, Ryan?
Yeah, that wasn't a hard no for me because it's just that works.
Right,
But I did have a
same.
different casting choice. John Turturro.
Turturro?
Sorry, I always say his name wrong. Turturro. How do you say his name?
I say Turturro, John Turturro.
That's probably correct.
Turturro.
Yeah.
I had
We
to
all
type
know who he
it.
is. Nobody has to Google him. We all know who he
Mhm.
is. Yeah. What do you
Mhm.
think of that? What do you think of that choice?
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
This is
okay.
this is one I also brought a lot of actors in
I'm just
Oh,
gonna
wow.
step out for a sec, guys. Just keep
Okay,
going.
to
yeah.
cast. This is a fun one because my criteria for this person is Italian and
Yeah.
like sweet older man, like just like has that look to them. I brought Sly in to read
Oh wow! Of course you did. Yeah.
for Father Carmine. Giancarlo Esposito. He's half Italian.
Okay.
Steve Carell as Father
Okay.
Carmine.
Sure.
Joe Pesci would be a little different.
A
Joe
little bit too old. A little bit too old.
Yeah, true. Joe Pantoliano. because
Who's that
he's
again?
great and everything. Joey Pants. He's like,
Was he in the Matrix films? He was the what? Like wasn't he? I know it's
yeah,
not a great
maybe.
poll. I think I see the
Ugh,
face though. He kind of plays
he's
the
the one of
kind
those
of
character
creep,
actors.
but he
Yeah,
kind
a
of
little bit.
a bit of a sleazeball, like kind of a yeah. I know who he is.
He
Yeah,
was in The Sopranos. Like he was a hated character
yeah.
in The Sopranos, but he's like
I
a
got him. Yeah,
very he's in
yeah. That's it.
tons of stuff.
He's 73 now.
Yeah.
Oh, where's
Mhm.
time gone?
He
Holy.
was Richie Valens like agent or manager in La Bamba.
Oh wow, he's been around for a while. I
Yeah,
just
he
didn't realize
has.
he was that. I would say old, but 73 is not young. I didn't realize he was that age already. How's that sound?
I know. I also interviewed my favorite person of all time, Robert De Niro. That's the priest,
Sure.
just for fun. This
Why?
is for
Why
shits and
not?
giggles. But the person I ultimately cast, Tony Danza.
Okay,
As Father
I like
Carmine.
it. Give Tony a break there. I like that.
Yeah.
For Father
Yeah,
Carmine?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah. I like that. Hey, Rebecca, hey. Okay, so
I think he's
we
like a
actually
teacher now or something. Or he like
is
became
he?
like yeah, like he became like a social studies teacher or something like that. Like he stopped acting and did that job. I saw a picture of him in a classroom. And it was like this article of like celebs who left acting for like normal jobs.
He
I
did it
think he
for a
did like a
spell.
reality show about
Yeah,
that or
it was
something.
09 to 2010. There's just 1 year he filmed a reality show called Teach by Tony Danza, which he co-instructed a 10th grade English class at Northeast High School in Philly. There you go.
Oh, no, I love Tony Danza. I just love him. He's a good guy
He's great.
too.
He's
So
a great guy. Yeah, yeah. I like guys like him. There's no drama. There's no skeletons or issues. He's just a good guy. Yeah, I like people who just act. They have fun. They're a celebrity. They just stay out of it, and they seem like good personalities at the same time. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, how old is he now? Boy, he's 73 too.
mhm.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay. This Rocky 5 season. Well, now next episode we'll have no trivia, no recasting segment, and no emails. So we'll have the
Now,
whole.
there will be emails. You guys email us.
I know.
Also, give the show a review.
Yes, thank you.
That would help more people find the show because there's tons of Rocky lovers out there and they need to find out about this show. Don't you guys think so? Review us, please.
Thank you, Kate. for
Okay,
doing that.
okay. I want to talk about this comment that just came in. What about Martin Scorsese as Father Carmine?
I'll take it.
I don't know what it'd sound like. I wonder if Martin Scorsese could speak Italian.
I think he does. I'm pretty sure.
Because if he did, he definitely has the look of he
Mhm.
could be Father Carmine, like no question. And if he spoke Italian well, I for sure would be down with that suggestion. I think that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite directors. I love all of his films. I just
Me too.
just recently watched the Killers of a Flower Moon. Ooh.
How was it? I haven't seen it yet.
It's such a good. I mean, I love Leo.
I
Leo DiCaprio is such a great. He's such a good actor. It's insane.
I've been meaning
It's
to see
insane.
it. He's doing a new one with Leo too.
Good.
Scorsese
that's great.
seems to like to use like him and Tarantino,
Yeah,
for
of course.
example, really like to use the same people over and over again, and I don't mind at all.
A lot of directors have their guys, like I would say more often than not.
Oh, it makes for
I
an easier
guess.
filming.
Yeah,
It's like, hey,
yeah.
like people don't get offended. They work easily together. They collaborate. Yeah. It's just easier.
Yeah, you get into a groove easier if you
Yeah.
know the
Mhm.
person.
But I can't say enough good things about Leo. I'm sorry, I'm a fanboy. I know he's got his dating, whatever he dates young. But that being said, he's just an incredible actor. And yes, he kills it in Killers of like it. I don't want to spoil anything. He played against type. It was really good. It was
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, not against type, but you'll see. Let's just say there's a lot of amoral behavior in that film, which is because it's about history and stuff. So he really kills the role. Yeah.
Okay.
No pun intended. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. We are going to tackle. Well, the first scene that we're going to tackle in today's review is Sage. I think he gets beaten up again. Oops, I lost Katie. Gets beaten up again.
Do you get beaten up more than once? Shit.
I think
don't
so.
remember. Oh, yeah, he does.
How much you got in your pocket today? Nothing. Come on, let's have nothing. I got nothing. Come on, give me the money. Come on. Hey, I gotta eat. Here, Everybody's gotta eat. We'll eat this. I got go.
It's actually not a bad line. I love that delivery. He's like, he says he's hungry. He's gotta eat. Well, then eat this. I think it's just great. I don't know why.
I want to point out something that is really pedantic and nitpicky, unnecessary. Who
In
would
this
keep
film?
their lunch money in their coat pocket and not their pants pocket?
Yeah.
It was written in the script this way, Kyle.
Yeah, because it's like if you're crushing the ground like this, reaching into that guy's pants is like weird, right? Like, I understand why they chose his coat pocket, but like that bothers me for some reason.
I also have a question. I went to Catholic school and we couldn't bring lunch and we had to eat at the cafeteria, but it was prepaid. We didn't like bring money. In public schools, do you bring in the 80s or the 90s? Did you bring money?
Us poor paupers who went to public school, Katie, who had to suffer through the public school system. We, in fact, Kyle.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm not Catholic.
In elementary and junior high in Canada, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, there are no school cafeterias.
Yeah, we don't have school cafeterias in Canada.
They don't build them that way. Like whoever
really
decided, everyone that brings their own lunch all the time.
Bring your own lunch, or when you're in high school, you go out for lunch. There's no cafeterias in any school.
Oh, my high schools all had cafeterias.
They have one. We didn't have. And we had a pretty like. It was rich, but it was like well-to-do community where what I'm saying is the schools were well put together, well funded, and they didn't have food in the school. It was kind of like you brought your own lunch.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Our high school had it where it was like the commercial foods class made the food for the cafeteria.
Really? That's smart.
And it was really good. But like I would say less than half of people actually ate it. Or I'd say maybe like 20% of people ate at the cafeteria regularly, if that. Like
it wasn't
everyone still brought their own lunch.
You brought your lunch or you went out. Yeah.
I wanted to either bring my own lunch, because I was vegetarian. At that time, I wasn't vegan yet, but so it was really hard for me to eat at our Nebraska USDA.
I've seen pictures of people's lunches from cafeterias in America, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So I was always jealous. I wanted to either bring my lunch or go out, and we couldn't even leave campus in high school. But if you had a cafeteria, you have to pay for it. So would you bring cash, or was it like a punch card, or you know what I mean? I guess I see this in movies, and it's hard for me to grasp like bringing $5 every day to pay for your lunch.
It does cost a bit. You're right. Milk money it does start to add up. It's easier just to make your own lunch and bring it. Yeah.
I've always heard of Americans talking about lunch money. Like that's always like you get beat up for your lunch money. Like it's So I always just assumed that like you had to pay for your lunches at school. Or I've heard of things like really poor kids like have like lunch debt or something like that, where like they stop getting lunch at school because they haven't paid. Like you're paying pay the school X amount per month. I don't know. Like it's like
no, you do have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. It's just the bringing cash every day seems like such a waste of time. Wouldn't you prepay for? Wouldn't you? I don't know.
I don't know. Like because I remember like at our cafeteria, like they had a lot of junk food and stuff like that, right? And so like I wonder if like maybe you bring money just to like buy extras. Like if you wanted soda or chips or something like that.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to derail on the cafeteria system.
No, I was in Canada. Long story short, my whole life I just brought my own lunch. Never bought a lunch at school ever. We have pizza day or hot dog day. That was the treat, and that was it. Yeah. Okay, so I agree with Simon. Like he put the money in his pocket, which is an easy grab. Like it just shows you his sheltered life upbringing. Like, no one's gonna rob me. I'm not gonna get mugged at school. So it goes back to what Kyle's saying: put it in your back pocket or put it in your sock.
I still think you be. I don't even mean it's a security thing because, like, for example, you take your coat off when you go in the school, probably, right? Like you're not wearing your jacket
Oh, I
in
see.
class all the time, and your coat's probably in your locker. So why would you have your money in your coat pocket when you're gonna have to go to the cafeteria later? Like
Oh,
it makes way more sense to have your money in your pocket or in a wallet.
There you go.
I don't know
A
if all junior high
wallet,
kids have a
yeah.
wallet. Like I feel like junior highs, like when you transition to having a wallet from just
Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
remember getting a
Mhm.
wallet. Like, yeah, I'm a bit of a man now. I'm
yeah,
carrying
you
a
feel
wallet.
Was
like
it
a
a
man when you
Velcro
get a
one?
wallet.
Did you
How
guys have a
dare you? It was
Velcro
a
one?
how dare you? It was a real fake leather
Oh,
wallet.
okay.
I don't
Fake
remember. I
leather's
don't remember.
better.
Yeah, I actually don't
Okay.
remember. I don't remember, to be honest with you. Okay. All right. So he gets mugged, and now we're going to the scene with Father Carmine, played by John Turturro or Martin Scorsese or whoever. All right.
Father Carmine! Yo! Father Carmine!
Now, I'm not going to show this sequence, but in the workers' print, like I said before, we won't obviously get it today. It might be 4 episodes from now, but in the workers' print, they filmed all the scenes that were in the montage. And so we get to hear the dialogue and see the full cut of these scenes that we will see in this montage. But they, during that sequence in the workers' print, this was actually near the end or in the middle. Like, it's just interesting where they put this sequence now in the final cut is before the training montage of this film, but during the workers' print, it was like down the road a little bit. Like they've already been together, they've already trained for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
So of course these Rocky's calling for Father Carmine, which we haven't seen since the wedding of part 2, if I remember correctly. And Rocky's calling for him. Maybe he's not home, says Tommy.
You know, maybe it's not home.
No, priest is always home.
Oh, Rocky!
Yo!
Ma perché non battesti la porta?
Oh, well, I didn't want to disturb you that much, Father.
Non disturbo. E la famiglia com'è?
Oh, excellent. Everything is perfect. You know, Father, this is my new friend, Tommy Gunn.
Okay, so I want to say, I should have paused it quicker. We'll look at it, but I want to say what I love about this scene, couple things, is both men wearing their, as we say in Canada, toques, and in America they call it snow caps or caps. I don't know what you. This makes worse. It's
We
so
have
weird.
we have
Again,
a lot of words for it. You guys,
Yeah.
yours makes better sense. Yeah.
It's just called the toque. It's spelled
Mhm.
TOQUE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
So-
TUK for some reason.
No, it's that's how it's
It's like
TOQ. Yeah. Toque.
Oh,
Whatever.
of course it's French.
Yeah, it is a French word, but it works because everyone, when you
Mhm.
say "Where's your toque," everyone knows what you're referring to. But in America, it depends what state you're in, or what. We don't get snow here, so I don't know what you're asking for. Anyways, what I like about this scene is aesthetically, they look really good.
Yeah.
The men, with their hats on, because they have the nice chiseled featured faces. They got the great vest jackets on with the hoodies. Their mullets are cut down, put down, Sly's puffy hair is pushed down. So like aesthetically, they look really good here. And I always hold on to this scene even as a guy looking at other men. I just look at the scene as like, hey, you guys look good here. It's an ageless look. It doesn't look like 1990. This looks like you can pull this off today wearing what they're wearing. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think they look good with the hats on as well, because it hides the disaster of the hairs they have. Haircuts.
Well, what's wrong with Sly's hair in this one?
Nothing's wrong. Hey, Sly, I love Sly, but I don't think I've always been a fan of his hairstyling throughout
Okay,
the years. He's
that's
had
fair.
interesting hair throughout the years.
That's fair.
I always focus on this barbed wire on the brick wall, kind
Sure,
of
yeah.
reminding you where you are.
Yep. I agree that Rocky looks really good. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with both of those sentiments. What I took, it's funny that we all noticed. You had a second point, didn't you, Ryan? What was your second thing?
Well, I would say not so much Sly's hair as much as Tommy. Tommy looks good and handsome here because his mullet's hidden with the toque in the front there. Sorry.
What I can't remember. What I love is that clearly Rocky understands Italian.
Mm-hmm.
He just can't speak it because he's answering questions. Like he's
Yeah.
hearing Father Karma. I don't know
That's
if
super common. Like,
It's common.
yeah.
like a lot of people here I've talked to who are like kids of immigrants say that their parents will speak to them in their native language and they just reply in English
Yeah.
all the time, because it's like understanding a language is so much easier than speaking it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Like my friend who like his parents talk to him in Hindi all the time. And he's like, I could technically speak Hindi if I really wanted to, but it would be like awkward. It would feel awkward. It would feel weird. So I'm like, I just reply in English.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That makes sense.
Oh, tanto piacere fare conoscenza, eh? Che posso fare per te, Rocky?
Well, I was wondering, Tommy here is a fighter, and I was supposed to be his manager, So I was wondering if you could do me a favor, if you ain't that busy, if you could throw us down a couple blessings, like one that I don't mess up being a manager, and B, that Tommy does as good as I think he could do,
So great little Rocky, isn't it? Did you catch it?
1 and B.
1 and B.
I think. Oh no! Did this come out before? This came out before Home Alone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one?
Okay.
Which film? I think that. Oh,
The first
shoot.
one.
No.
Well, they're
I
both
think it got-
1990. They're both
It
1990.
got
It just
released.
depends.
No, sorry, I stepped on everyone. I apologize. I had to get a second to collect my thoughts. So Kyle asked, "No, that's the problem. Is Home Alone and Rocky got released the same weekend?"
Okay. Oh, that's right. So there's this very similar thing that happens in Home Alone when they're in France and they're all like all the kids are there in this hotel room and they're all miserable because they're not going out and doing things because everyone's worried about Kevin. And one of the girls says to Kevin's older brother Buzz, like, "Oh, I wonder if he's okay, if anything's happened to him." And Buzz is like, "I'm not worried at all. One, we live on the most boring," or he's like, "No, one, I'm not that lucky. B, we live on the most boring street in America." And it's like this exact same fucking thing here. Where you just like 1 and
It's
B.
a common. I do it too. I mean, it's a very common thing that people will. It's almost like purposeful. I don't think
Really? I don't know.
I've never done it in my
experience is
life.
I never hear it.
I do it all the time. Yeah.
Well, one, that's embarrassing, and B, you probably shouldn't have announced it on the podcast.
Why is that so embarrassing? It's shut up.
Hey, I'm not the one that got last place at the Rocky 5 trivia.
Ah,
Come on.
good.
Oh, poor
Ooh,
Katie.
touche. Look at me
Alright.
using a French word.
For the
Ah.
record, I just for the record, I took a screenshot of Sly's face here. I'm gonna use that for the thumbnail. What do you think?
Oh, it's unfortunate because he really does look nice.
I'm using that for the thumbnail for this episode. Okay.
Great, and don't get hurt none. Could you do that?
Ma sicuro, un piacere è mio. In nome del Padre, del Figlio, dello Spirito Santo, e così sia.
Love when he does that.
So you literally just cursed the franchise. This movie bombed with critics and fans, and Father Carmine. Oh man. So I think
thought
we
it
did
was-
get. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's cute how Tommy acts his what's going on? Like
Yeah, I
this is
always find that
foreign.
odd.
It's foreign to him.
It-
Should be that
I've been in
foreign.
this situation multiple times. So in my old job, we used to invest, and this is kind of I'm not proud of this. Okay, I'm not proud of this. We used to invest for like certain Catholic dioceses, and so I'd have to go out there and visit them, and like before you eat or whatever, they start doing like this blessing where they start crossing themselves, and it's like
Right.
everyone but me does it because everyone there is Catholic.
That's so funny. I grew up like before meals in our family, like you have to Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
and whatever the prayer was, I bless us our Lord for these, I guess, blah 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 blah. Like that's a thing, and it like I guess it's so mundane to me that I
Yeah,
forget that other people didn't. That's wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle. It's funny, but what I'd never liked Tommy's character or the acting here, whatever it is.
Oh.
Meaning like he's like the idea that A, Tommy, you don't have to do it, or B, one, you don't have to do it. B, it should be like he's looking at Sly doing this, sorry, or Rocky doing this, but being so perplexed that it's happening. That's what I found funny, or not funny, kind of irritating, because okay, I've never done it. Like I've never been in a situation like Kyle where I've been around people that do it all the time. But if someone does it in front of me, I'm not like, huh? Hey, what? I don't understand what you're doing. Like it's the Catholic cross. We've seen it 100 times on TV shows and
Mhm.
movies, and like the fact that Tommy's so bewildered by this behavior, it's like maybe he just didn't have TV growing up. Fair enough, but we're the same age, Tommy and I. So he watched the same TV I watched. Like, even if I was 19 years old, seeing a 40-year-old do this on the street, I wouldn't be perplexed and bewildered by this behavior. He's acting like he's never seen the Catholic cross prayer before.
Yeah, but it is weird when it's part of your like boxing training routine. Like all of us, you're on a jog, and then all of a sudden you're like doing this religious stuff in public, in the street, in front of people. Like to me, it'd be awkward. I don't think he's that perplexed. I think it's just this is an unfamiliar situation to him.
He's
Like,
like,
he doesn't know what
okay,
to do,
I guess
he
this is
feels
what we're doing.
awkward. Like I'm giving him. I like it.
You're giving it a pass, okay?
You're giving it a
Alright.
pass.
Also, religions do fascinate me. I just don't know that much about a lot of them. So he's from Oklahoma, so he would be like Baptist or something. Do they not do the sign of the cross?
No,
No,
only
it's
Catholics
Catholic.
do that
It's a
shit.
Catholic.
Oh, okay.
Like I grew up religious, but we would never do that sign of the cross thing.
No, we do other signs.
Yeah. Well, but yeah,
Well, that's like a different sect of Christianity. I just thought all the like
How dare you?
I was about to say normal, but like
yeah, you could say
run
that.
of the mill Christian, like
I
Baptist,
guarantee you,
Methodist, blah, blah, blah.
Protestants. I guarantee you, almost all.
No,
Protestants
it's
do
only
not do
it's only
sign of the
Catholics.
cross.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
Lutherans wouldn't do it. Methodists wouldn't do it. No, I think it's
Okay.
just a Catholic thing. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Father. I really appreciate this.
Ma tanto piacere, every time.
Okay, hey, I'll see you in church.
Oh sì, sicuramente, aprite tutti e due.
Okay.
Now
Okay, I'll translate that. What he said was bullshit. You haven't come
Yeah.
to church in decades.
Yeah.
I think that's what he said.
And that's why Rocky's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
But
like, how
I
much
think
you
we did.
donate when you were rich.
We did get a translation for this, or I think it's online, and we did it during the Going the Distance. But
No, I did the translation. I got an Italian person to translate for us.
that's what it
in Going the
was.
Distance,
Yeah.
But it was for Rocky 2.
Oh,
It wasn't for this scene.
okay. Well, I'm sure it's
Oh.
They should've
online or
done that,
trivia or so. No, I bet you. Well, on our own, I might even do it if I remember while I'm editing.
Yeah.
To have it ready for the next episode. But yeah. I mean, it's probably pretty straightforward. I bet you once we get the translation, it's gonna obviously make sense. But yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, man, what'd you do this for?
Hey, it don't hurt having an angel in your corner, you know. Come on.
So he's really, of course, dumping the whole flashback sequence of angel on your shoulder. So he's trying to be the Mickey to Tommy's Rocky. So can you hear the vacuum? My wife's deciding to vacuum while I'm recording.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, I told her I was going to vacuum after recording.
Now that
but-
you say it, I can tell that there's a vacuum on, but it's not going to affect the recording.
well, I'll just mute it a little bit. Okay, all right.
Hey, Rock, how's it going?
Doing great, guys.
Better slow down. We're gonna give you a ticket.
This is Tommy Gunn. He's gonna be
Hey,
chipped,
guys.
guys.
How you doing, Tom?
All right. Well, I don't know why we have that scene. It's kind of the
It's a
cops are
throwaway
pulled o-
scene. Yeah.
Yeah, it really
like
is.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's nice to see Rocky getting respect to the neighborhood.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I like him saying Tommy's going to be champ. It kind of just shows he believes in him and stuff. I think like it's a quick little throwaway scene. They're jogging.
I was thinking
anyways.
more of the joke. The more of the joke about.
Oh.
I guess even as a dad joke, I can just see like, all right, I'm jogging.
Oh, gonna
too
give you a
fast.
ticket.
Yeah. But just he's settled in the neighborhood. He knows everybody.
I think it's the
again.
joke, but I agree, Kyle. Take away the joke. Is hey guys, looking good out there. Thanks. Yeah, I'm running with the future champ right now.
Yeah, that's fine too. That's fine. I'm indifferent, to be honest.
Okay, so now of course this is like literally the opening sequence or shot of the first Rocky film. We now are just everything's going back to the roots. We've got Tommy fighting in the church turned into boxing gym. So this is his first fight. He's fighting his Spider Rico right now.
They're back at the same church. Like they
It's
still
only
have these
15
fights.
You know what though? It's funny
Oh.
because like this seems so different than 1975, right?
Mhm.
But it's only 15 years.
I know.
Like, wait, is it
14
is a
years.
teenage? Sure, 14 years. No, because this is 1990, right?
Yeah, 76, the first film.
Yeah, but no, 75 is when the movie starts.
Took place in 75.
Oh, I see. Sure.
The-
Okay.
yeah.
Whatever. It's 14, 15 years.
Yeah,
But,
you're
like,
right.
when I was younger, 15 years is a long fucking
Oh,
time.
yeah. It's a long time.
But like 15 years, that's 2010. How different did things look in 2010 than they do now?
Not that
Well,
much.
not
I
that
know.
different.
Yeah,
And
you're
this
right.
is like people are drastically different looking.
It is weird. I don't understand it.
5 than they did in 1990.
Well, I think we've sort of talked about this, or this is not new. I should say that what you're bringing up, people have commented or noticed this too, Kyle, that something about the 2000s, almost actually the 2010s, or something sort of has happened the last 15, 20 years where I could wear what I'm wearing right now in 2005 and nobody would bat an eye. But if I
No
wore
one
what
would
I'm
say
wearing
shit
right
to
now in
you.
1970, they might be like, what are you
Mhm.
wearing?
Well,
Yeah.
I wear a black t-shirt and jeans. I could wear that in the 60s and no one would say anything.
Yeah, jeans and a t-shirt, yeah. But we talked about styles last episode, but I guess the point is it's just that you're right. There does seem to 1975 or 6 is a world apart from 1990, both in music,
Everything.
Fashion,
Film.
hairstyles.
like we had the whole
Yeah.
80s is already come and gone. The whole 80s is officially over. And if that was like a whole lifetime, but now the 2010s. Remember the films, the 2010 films, guys? You remember that? Remember how you felt watching 2010s?
Yeah, the only
No-
thing you notice is like for instance, The Departed. We all know that movie, right?
That was before 2010, I think. Even
It was
as well.
2005, so this is 20 years ago.
That was 2005.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
See, I
Now-
could have. I'd be like,
Yeah,
that was 5
people
years
were
ago.
dressed not that different than they are now. They don't look that
Mhm.
different. Things look pretty much the same. There's only one thing you notice in that film which really dates it. It's the technology. Like you see people
Yeah,
pulling
the
out
flip
Nokia flip
phones.
phones and doing
Yeah.
these texts and shit like that, and that's the only thing that dates it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're
Maybe
actually
the
watching-
cars a bit, but
Don't want to get on too much tangents. Well, I won't. Yeah, I agree. I won't get on another tangent to confirm that. I'll just say, yeah, it is funny how
but
that is.
but the point of what I'm trying to make is, it's like it's really not that long ago that Rocky fought in the ring in 75. Like, it seems like
Mhm.
forever because of the difference in the way things look. But in actuality, like, of course, this place is still running. Of course, it looks like this. Of course, people are doing what they're doing because it was only 15 years ago.
Now, I'm not wrong. This is supposed to tell us that this is the same church that he fought Rico in.
Of
right?
course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the exact
Yeah.
same place.
Okay.
Same.
But
And
that's kind of
I-
my point. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, of course he'd fight here because
Right.
it's like,
Okay,
you know,
let's see what the crowd looks like compared to the 76
Yeah.
crowd or 75 crowd.
Same shot. They're filming it the same
Yeah,
way. It's the
yeah.
same.
This is probably John G. This is a John G. moment, I bet. This would be.
Yeah. The smoky dark.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, you feel good about this fight?
No,
Don't
this
think
is a really nice touch.
all
Sure.
right. All right.
right,
Next
yeah.
up, Tommy Gunn versus some generic dude.
I think I heard someone say bum too.
I
Yeah,
thought so too.
It's probably that same lady. Yeah, bum.
Maybe they just used the
Oh,
real.
she died of cancer for sure by now.
Oh yeah, she's dead.
Get off the ropes!
It's so easy, all right?
Man, I need more work.
No, you're ready. You're perfect.
No, I need more work.
No,
Man, this
listen.
guy's killing me.
No, listen. You're ready now. You're
He's
perfect.
killing me.
No, you're perfect. You understand me?
You puffy, you puffy. So again, a little bit more Mickeyisms when Mickey said that Rocky's perfect, but I'm a little bit confused as to why Tommy is like. I understand he's maybe fighting somebody more his weight class or strength level or something. Well, why is he feeling this moment so unprepared? Like didn't he have a big hoo-ha moment when he's talking to him outside the bar there about all the things he did to get ready? Like, am I overthinking this? Like, why in this moment is he so like, I'm afraid the guy's punching hard, like he's hurting me?
He's never beaten up like this before, probably, right? Like, there's always someone who could beat you up.
But he
And-
didn't he have any experience at all? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to know what it felt like to be punched before.
He
no?
he
Or-
has had professional fights. Yeah, you're right. It is It's in the script, Ryan. That's why, so that
Okay,
Rocky can
roger
give this
that.
inspirational
But that could be the answer to
speech.
every
Yeah.
It doesn't bother. Don't bother me none. Don't bother me none because professional fights really vary, right? Like you could fight like a real chump who sucks, or you could fight a guy who's like maybe the guy's fighting is a good fighter who's also an up and comer, and like you know what I
You know, it's
mean?
funny.
So,
Tommy's previous coach, they was handpicked Tommy.
yeah,
I was just gonna say he has to come to Philly to fight the real tough
Yeah,
fighters.
maybe. Yeah, that's maybe that's what I mean. So it's not so much a criticism of the script. That wasn't my intent, really. It was just I'm trying to look at this objectively. Like,
Mhm.
why in this moment is this character? Because there's no real indication that he's weak, or because we know he's got a powerful punch with the sparring partners that he's fighting. So why in this moment is he doubting himself? Like this other guy could just be another Tommy. It could just be someone that punches hard too. He's like, holy crap, I'm really
yeah, but that's like when you have you ever had moments of self doubt though, where
right
it's
every
not
day.
really where it's not really like someone from the outside is like this is irrational. Why are you doubting yourself like this? But internally, you're doubting yourself, right? Like you have
Yeah.
like your own demons, and I think Rocky sees that. Rocky sees like, hey, you could beat this guy. You know,
Yeah, he's going to talk about it right here. Here we go. Frankie Fear is coming back already, I think.
I feel weak. No, listen to me. I feel weak. Shut up. Listen to me.
I always love that. Shut up. I don't
Me
know
too, like,
why.
just- I do too. I love it.
Because even the delivery is good, but I can't tell if it's a Sly delivery or Rocky. I don't know if it's like Sly, the actor / director, telling this character, "Shut up! I gotta get this line out." It's hard to tell, which is a good acting, I guess. Where I'm like, because it's sort of not Rocky-ish, but maybe this is. I don't know. What do you guys think of the "shut up" more? Have we ever heard him do that before?
no,
He
but
doesn't
it's
mean
like,
it in a mean way. He's just like,
Not
actually
mean, but
shut
it's-
up and listen to me.
Yeah, it almost sounds like Sly talking to his kid. It not again. I guess we've all said. I think we've all said the word "shut up" in our life before. We probably have meant it. There's probably been a point in our life where we've said those two words before. I would assume, unless you've gone your whole life and never said it, that's great. But I'm just saying, it's always caught me off guard in an
shut up.
interesting
Let's just
way.
watch the movie, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
No, I was kidding. I'm sorry.
No, but that's what it's a very well. Actually, it's sort of the FU to be quiet.
I don't know. It's like, yeah, he's a trainer.
Well, the
You
context
say this,
matters.
or you're allowed to
Yeah,
do
he's-
this commissioned as a trainer. You can be like, hey, shut up. I need to help you here. Like, time is of the essence. Like, we only have a
That's-
fucking
well,
minute
yeah.
in this corner.
I was just gonna say it, Kyle. Exactly. Yes. Like, okay, I get it. You're afraid. That's great. Now it's time for me as a trainer to tell. Because yeah, we got 45 seconds. We got to go back. You're right. So, but I just love the delivery. The delivery has always been enough to me. Like, is that Rocky or Sly or a bit of both to Tommy?
It's always stood out to me as well, and I adore it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, it's also Rocky maybe taking his training seriously. He's
Mhm.
really into it right now as a trainer.
Difference between the hero and the coward is the hero's willing to go for it, all right? Willing to take the shot, okay? Now this guy over here is scared too. You're scared, he's scared, you're both scared. Remember in the basement, we was talking about fear and how it's like this fire, huh? And you gotta control it because it's like, it'll like burn you up or it's gonna burn him up, right? And you gotta make it work for you, Tommy, okay? I would never do nothing that would hurt you. You gotta understand what I'm saying. Now fear is like this fire, okay? Now let it burn and burn until it becomes like this volcano. And when the time is right, and you see the opening, explode all over this guy, okay? And you can take him, okay? It's all heart, you understand? It ain't all muscle, it's all heart. Heart and fire, okay? Now you do it.
Wait, hold, stop.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have done that a little differently now. I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything really wrong with what he said there,
Yeah.
but I think he missed an opportunity. So, like, remember at the dinner scene when he said that, like, Tommy was talking about his dad being an alcoholic and how he's like, now whenever I fight someone, I see him. I feel like Rocky could have been like, hey, control, do the fear as like a fire thing, but like, remember what you said, like you see your dad. Well, like, see your dad when you see this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Would have been a tactic too. It would have been quicker. Obviously, that was my only kind of criticism. I think at this moment, again, this is Sly, and this is not a criticism, an observation with everything he said. It's like a lot of Mickeyisms, Rocky's experiences, all dumped on Tom in this first fight. Meaning, like all the pep talks. It's almost like ChatGPT took all the pep talk that Mickey has done to Rocky and create me a paragraph to give to Tommy. It's just everything. Heart and fire. It's all heart, no muscle. It's not just muscle, it's heart and fire. when you see an opening bust, like all this stuff, like this is the championship fight. Well, I get it. This is his first big fight, so maybe you could argue Rocky's telling him or wants Tommy to have a good first fight, because once he gets over this first fight of confidence, then everything else will come easier. That could be the argument there too, to kind of like, I got to get through Tommy through this fight, because if he buckles under the pressure on his first big fight, he might have a long. So you could argue that's why, but it just felt like Rocky kept.
He was spewing a lot of things. Like it was too much because I was putting myself in Tommy's position and I was not able to focus and follow what Rocky was saying. Like it was way too much. He needed to make it more concise and break it down. To just
It just felt a lot.
Yeah.
It felt a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe just talk about the Frankie Fear part and that was it. But then he kept going with it's all heart, not muscle. Like those guys save the heart muscle talk for the championship fight or something. Anyways.
Well, and the picture your dad, Kyle, I think that's a fair point. I wonder if that's just not in keeping with Rocky. Like that's like a mean thing to do. I don't know.
I agree. You know what's funny? In my head, it sounded better, and then when I said it out loud to you guys, I'm like, I don't know, maybe not. But
it's not a bad way to go. Maybe a last ditch effort. Maybe it's like the 14th round. He wants to knock out. Okay, fine. You want to knock this bum out? You want to knock him out in the 15th round? Then that's your dad. Go.
Yeah.
We'll talk about therapy after. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Remember, I'm like this angel sitting on your shoulder, okay? I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, okay? Good God.
Yeah, so I muted the music. You're hearing the mute. That's me muting the music for
I was just gonna ask, how is it so clear?
Yeah. So so you hear the
did you mute it for YouTube or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna stop it there because now the montage is starting. So next episode we'll get into the montage and So you'll hear the muting throughout this montage sequence. I did that so we could comment on it and not have it blocked on YouTube.
Oh, you want me to just sing it? I can just sing it.
You can. Yeah, I'll give you the week to practice. To practice. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so that was it. So we don't have any Rocky trivia answers. We've got all our emails done, everything. So not emails, our comments on YouTube. So thank you guys for the YouTube comments. Truly, if that's where people want to leave comments and engage us, that's a totally cool place to do it. We missed the emails. Rocky 5 has been light on emails. I understand it's not a fan favorite for people. I don't know.
It is a little outdated, I think, is the problem. Like people don't email. Like it's a lot of work to send an email compared to
but the show got emails with all the other seasons. Like it seems like a pretty good go, but I think people stopped listening to part 5.
Yeah, everybody uses email. It's like it's just as easy to send an email than it is to like send something like via chat or messenger or
no, it's not. I don't think so. Because like maybe chat or messenger, but like if you're watching this episode on YouTube, it's so much easier just to type a comment in the comment section than to open your email, find Ryan's email address, paste that in, write a subject line.
Oh, now you're no. Okay, we're trying to
well
people.
Two different avenues. YouTube comments are meant for short, little, quick comments.
Yeah.
An email is if you want to, discuss your thoughts more holistically, like it, right?
Yeah. The emails are always better. They're always fuller, but we appreciate the YouTube comments. We love it because it gives us some great discussion points because we don't have the emails. I guess I just miss the emails. It feels more, I don't know, personal. But like Katie said, though, at the very least, leave us a star rating on your app of choice or even a review there. If I see the review, I'll definitely read that. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I got a review. People are still listening. Like it's not like people aren't listening, but the reviews have stopped. It makes me cry a little bit.
I know. I hear you. And it really does. Like that is something that helps more people find the show. And I think there's a lot of Rocky fans out there that might enjoy our little trio of nonsense.
I hope so.
I've talked up my podcast at work at the lunchroom a couple of times, and it's a little disturbing. There's younger females, like 30 years old, around that age, never seen Rocky.
That is. I do find that disturbing.
Yeah,
well, partially because it's in the AFI. Like, it's not just that we love the movie and we can't believe they haven't seen it. It is known to be one of the best movies ever made. So
And the one last thing I'll say, it's not about numbers, and I want to make that clear. It's just that, like anything, if you're a rock and roll band and you go play at your show and there's only 5 people in the audience, you might be a little bit oof, it stings a little. What I'm getting at is that there's millions of Rocky fans and there's millions of podcast listeners. Like I've explained it before, but it's been a while. But I've never understood how you can have a million. Let's just say a million. I'm going to grab 1 million podcast listeners, which is more than that, and 1 million Rocky fans, Sly fans, which is more than that in the world. But the two don't overlap by 1,000. So you're not even trying to advertise podcast listening. They already do it. You're not trying to advertise become a fan of Rocky. They already are. How can we not get 1,000? Just 1,000 Venn diagram overlap. It's weird to me. I don't know how to get those people. Yeah.
I'm going to have to get oiled up, take my shirt off.
Well, that's how it's done. That's how it's done on YouTube. I'm not going to get it.
I know we aren't clickbaity enough. We're not clickbaity enough, Ryan.
I guess so. Katie, lower cut tops. That is the key. That is what other YouTube channels do, and that's what's in their thumbnails. Don't get me started on that kind of stuff. Simps. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah, we need the simp. We need the simp listening audience.
Here's what I will say. I think the listeners and viewers and people, like our people, are quality people.
That's true.
Like they don't need that cheap shit,
Yeah, we have good listeners.
Guys, let us know. Do you want lower?
It's a lot of great listeners in our show.
All right. Well, we love you guys to do listen. We do appreciate you guys. Honestly, you're great supporters. But share it on your socials is what I'm saying too. Give it likes, share it on your socials. That actually helps the algorithm as well, especially on YouTube. If you're watching it, even for 10 minutes, give it a like. Okay. But with that, Katie, this episode's over.
I didn't hear no bell.